What's up, guys? A little update here, just showing you guys. I haven't seen any videos on how to convert your Windsor Mustang to carbureted from EFI and how to do it cheap, effectively, and still proper. So basically, what has been done is only wires you need to cut. Look in here. You got a red wire that has, what color lumen is that? There's a couple wires that you actually do need to cut from this harness, the actual ECU harness. And those colors are, let's see here. So we got a red and a green, an orange, and a, let's see, is that colored or is it solid orange? Solid orange. Got a black and orange, and you got another red. Those are the only wires you need to cut from the harness. Everything else you can literally just take off. In terms of vacuum lines, I've seen people run vacuum lines onto the actual firewall. That's not necessary. You know, of course, I'm not done. This is literally just a mock-up. The engine runs, everything's good. I modified my stock EFI cable to fit a carburetor. You can do that literally just by buying, hardware store-bought bolts and basically banjo bolts essentially, and routed the cable in there. Didn't want to go with like a blaster coil or anything because I know this is a rat's nest right now. However, I'm literally still in the process of doing this. It's just too big of a carb for this car anyways. Swap cams, new timing chain, just valve springs, but it's still stock heads that have been polished and ported. But even then, there's still way too much carb for this car. Nevertheless, this is how to do it right. So, I've seen one forum online that was complete bullshit. So this telling you how I did it, how it works, runs great, rips ass. It's way better, in terms of performance benefits than say an EFI. However, if you're transferring over from EFI to solve some sort of problem, I probably wouldn't recommend it because you are now taking your EFI factory built car and you are now making it a designated toy. So don't get the idea that you're going to be able to daily drive this car as a carbureted car, because it's not smart and it's just not a good idea for multiple reasons. Go into that. Nevertheless, decided to go really cheap on this, but at the same time doing it right. So, like I said, swap cam, still using the same EFI timing cover. Just decided to go with a aftermarket, Edelbrock electric fuel pump. Tapped it into the existing fuel line. Got a pressure gauge mounted up and stuff like that. In the tank, actually took out the stock EFI pump and just ran a hose that was the same length as the actual screen that was in there, the pickup screen. And from there, just put a couple of filters in there. Fuel pressure regulator, because this thing's a little too strong for that. It just keeps flooding it out. Something you're definitely going to need. But, in terms of getting the car running, that's what you need to do. If you want to do it right, like I did it, where you have full working dash, you're definitely going to need to take the dash apart. But nevertheless, if you want to know the secrets to exactly what is what, give you a little rundown right now. But like I said, I have not tucked away anything, away. But so this red and white wire, if you can see this right there, that red and white wire, that is your oil temperature gauge. This wire, if you trace it back, I put a relay in here for safety. Still need to tuck it away. But anyways, if you run through this temp gauge that's over here, follow this wire, it runs to this guy right here, which is, let's see what color this is, which is a green and yellow wire. So this is all just to get your factory dash working properly as if you never converted to EFI. Now for the tachometer, pretty simple. Just connect the, basically, obviously you need to find the correct, the correct wire that actually, fires the tach itself. That guy, let's see, I don't have this schematic that I made in front of me. However, I can find it right here. Let's see. So, let's see, where's my tach? So the tach is actually going to be a white and red. So, like I said, oil pressure, red and white, tach, white and red. When you do this the way that I did it, you are automatically going to have a voltmeter. You're automatically going to have a fuel pressure gauge. So those things are out. The only other thing was to make sure the coolant temp sensor and stuff like that. And like I said, this is literally just a complete mock-up. Still doing test and tuning. I need to take that carb off because it's just way too much carb for a stock head that's even imported. But no one's made a good video on actually how to convert a small block Ford Windsor that is originally EFI to carbureted the cheap way, the right way, to where all factory stuff works and there's just nothing out there. So this is that video. Hit me up. I'm good with my Instagram. I'm sorry, not Instagram. I'm good with my YouTube. So, if you have any questions in terms of, how to do it and stuff like that, like I said, like this is a rat's nest right now. This is all going to get cleaned up and hidden in fenders, and then, I have panels to put over that and whatnot. But, just, I really recommend going with a coil on distributor because, then you don't have to run an external blaster coil or anything like that. And then in terms of vacuum lines and stuff, I mean, people leave the vacuum, the vacuum port module right here. Screw that. Just put it right in the booster. It's the same thing, So if you're a DIY guy, but know how to do it, this is perfect for you. And this is literally ASC certified tech working on this car and just doing it right. Only making this video because no one has made this video, and I'm trying to help other people. Again, another disclaimer. If you are changing from EFI to carbureted because, I don't know, it could be multiple things, because your car's not running right or something like that, I would not recommend it because you're literally sacrificing a lot of drivability of the car. I mean, it's good for racing and power, but it really takes a lot away from the car in terms of not necessarily reliability, but consistency in starting, tuning. There's a lot more stuff that could potentially fail. They're old cars. I mean, this block was designed in the 60s, okay? So, they went to easy starting. So, if you have a bad computer, or if you have, like a bad TFI module, and the problem is with these first gen, OBD1, you really don't have any form of accurate diagnostics. So, I didn't convert over to EFI because I actually physically had a problem.